So we're moving on to probably another of your colleagues based up in Laois County Council, and that is Denise Rainey. Denise heads up the business support unit there, and again, another very engaged group of people, always working really hard with the business community right across the county, running great initiatives and really doing a fantastic job, and you know, not in easy times either. So you're very welcome today, Denise. Thanks for joining us. So the business support unit, as I said, is based up in the same offices as the local enterprise office, and they're very active working with town teams right across the county, particularly working in the whole area of development of, for example, it's just popped up there, the Shopfront Improvement and Accessibility Grant. And I know that grant has been there for a number of years, but they've recently added on, and I know it was with thanks to Denise, that there's now an accessibility piece to that, and the grant, as far as I know, has increased to €1,000. So really, to find out more about that, it's worth talking to Denise. So it's a great incentive, and you get 50% of the eligible costs. So it's really great, and I know we got signage at the new office in Portlaoise, and we were able to avail of that grant. So well worth looking into that. You know, €750, €1,000, it's all money saved, and it's cash that's in your bank.
So there's been a great take up of that scheme in Portlaoise over the last few years, but I'm afraid outside the county the take up hasn't been as good. So we'd like to say to businesses that scheme is available there if you want to avail of it. The next scheme we have available is the Portlaoise Facade Enhancement Scheme. This scheme is being targeted at premises located in 3 areas in Portlaoise. They are Leicester Square, Leicester Lane and Bull Lane in Portlaoise. Are you still hearing me there, Bernie?
Yeah, we can hear you, Denise.
Oh yeah, great, yeah. Great. Sorry, I thought I froze. No. So this scheme is specifically a painting scheme. It's a scheme for businesses who want to have the exterior of their premises painted. The works are carried out by a Laois County Council employed painter, and again the grant available is €750, up to 75% of the cost of the works. So again, just to remind people, this is open to businesses in Bull Lane, Leicester Lane and Leicester Square. And businesses can, they will see the launch date for that is April. But if anybody wants to get any details before then, feel free to contact me. So the next scheme I wanted to let people know about is the Port Tarlington Facade Enhancement Scheme. This scheme is again similar to the Portlaoise scheme, but it's being targeted at 3 specific areas in Port Tarlington. It is French Church Street, Main Street and Market Square. So any commercial or residential premises that wish to have their premises painted in any of these 3 areas can again apply for a grant up to €750 or 75% of the cost of the works, whichever is the lesser. The colour scheme is going to be designed for the town, and again we're hoping to launch this scheme in April of this year. So you'll see more on social media and local press about that. And then the last scheme I wanted to let people know about is the Business Incentive Scheme. This is a rate reduction scheme, and it's aimed at businesses, new businesses that are opening, not even new businesses, but businesses that are opening a new premises that has previously been vacant for at least 6 months. So the terms of the grant relief are it's reduction from your rates over 3 years. You get a 75% reduction in year 1, a 50% reduction in year 2, and a 25% reduction in year 3. This scheme is again open as we speak at the minute. It's open to all businesses located in town centres across the county, and applications can be got from our website or by contacting me. We can send one out to you. So Bernie, I've kind of kept it brief this morning. I wanted to concentrate on the 4 main schemes we have available. Of course, as the name suggests, the Business Support Unit is open and available for any queries people may have. Specifically, recently we've been helping people, who have different problems they've encountered, and they want to maybe have a planning query, and we'll help them with that, put them in contact with the right person in the planning section, the environmental section. So as Evelyn mentioned, our team, we're working remotely at the moment, but we're available through email, and I can share my details after the presentation, and if anybody wants to contact me, I'd be delighted to give them any information they need about the schemes I was talking about this morning.
That's great. Thanks very much, Denise, and thanks for bearing with us with our few technical.
Yes, sorry about any issues on this end.
We're all learning, and it's great that these issues can be solved within a matter of minutes. And thanks for your patience, and again for your presentation. Very valuable information for all businesses out there that are thinking of upgrading their shop fronts moving forward. So moving along to our final speaker before we have our interview with Anna May McHugh, I'd like to welcome David Williamson. David is joining us today from the Department of Professional and Graduate Studies in University of Limerick. However, I'm not sure if he's in the University of Limerick as we speak, but you're very welcome.
I'm certainly not. Hi, Bernie. Good morning. No, this isn't the university. I've had to move up to the shed because I've had some broadband issues this morning. So
fair enough.
Apologies.
So I'll let you start your presentation.
Of course. Yes. Thank you very much. So good morning, everybody. I'm just going to share my screen now, if it will allow me to. And I hope everybody can see this. So I'm just going to really, colleague there at IT Carlow has probably saved me a little bit of time in explaining some of the key things that are on offer at the moment from government, such as Springboard, in terms of business supports. So a little bit of background to me. My name is David Williamson. I work at UL in professional education, working primarily with employers and learners. And my key activity really is about getting an understanding of business skills needs. And that often includes meeting with businesses, looking at where the organization is now, where you're looking to grow, whether you're a small organization, whether you're a large organization. So that's my background primarily. But in the time that we've got, I'm going to just skip on to a number of things that I hope will be of interest to you. You're probably aware that UL for many, many years has had probably the best reputation, going back nearly 30 years of working with industry, particularly with placing students with industry as well. But I just want to just talk about where we are at the moment, and I'm sure this is all fairly familiar to you, in terms of a number of things that we're looking at UL. Sorry, I'm trying to share my screen here. We're certainly seeing a number of things which I would imagine would be very familiar to yourselves. Digitization was already with us. You know, I keep reading some reports that, things will be digital soon. Actually, things are already very digital, aren't they? We all know that from the numerous passwords that we all have and the way that business is operating at the moment. So digitization was already on its way. COVID-19, as we know, has only accelerated that. And the discussions that I've been having with a lot of businesses recently is, right, okay, if we're going to remain competitive, there's some key issues for us. There's sustainability, there's Brexit, there's digitization, and there's the post-COVID environment. And we also were very much aware that we're going to need to upskill our teams. And now, of course, as employers, if you're a small business, if you're a medium-sized business or a large business, you've got a fantastic menu, and you've seen today all the supports that is available. Let me just kind of focus in on UL. Very much like other education providers, we offer a lot of part-time flexible programs. And of course, no surprise that this year, they're running online. By necessity, you could say, but I think the future looking ahead is going to be very much a case of a lot of learning will be online with a bit of touch points face-to-face, which is still important with fellow learners. So as I say, what my key role here is to get an understanding of where businesses are going, the skills that they need, and we're very much about co-development. All our programs have been put together by working in discussion with employers, either refreshing what our programs are or introducing new ones. Okay, so we're very much about being dynamic. We need to listen to you. It's not just a case of showing you a menu of what's on offer, although I will do that. Let me just whiz on to the next slide. So here, as you can see, I've put down here you, your team, and your business. I'm sure we're all very much aware that we need to acquire new skills for our team if we're going to remain competitive. And even if you're in a public organisation or a not-for-profit organisation, the skills we're going to need just to meet those increasing stakeholder demands. And what I'm certainly finding, certainly speaking to colleagues who are researching this area as well, is that yes, we're hearing a lot about data analytics and AI and automation, which, by the way, we run flexible programs in all of those part-time flexible programs. It's also those transversal skills. It's okay having the technology skills. It's how you're going to implement these skills. How are we going to work differently as a team, either remotely or looking at new products and new services. Of course, things are going to become pretty much fragmented. I think where we are now, like working in a shed from home, as we all know, for many of us, that's going to be the reality. So what we do in all our programs, you will find that there are elements of those transversal skills. Yes, sure, you'll learn the technical skills, you'll learn the knowledge, but within that, it's, you know, how we're going to implement that. All this is based back and anchored back into the organization. And everything that we do working with businesses on our programs usually requires a project back at base, yeah? Something that's going to help them to apply that knowledge that you're going to learn. I'm very conscious of time. 10 minutes can go past very quickly, can't they? What we're also finding as well through OECD data is that employers are increasingly looking for qualified, accredited experience. And you can see there, if I just highlight those degree, MSc, PhD, whether you're an individual learner or whether you're an employer, then having that accredited knowledge is going to be vital either for your CV, or you'll need that, of course, in comfort to know that you need to grow your own business through getting the cutting edge knowledge in whatever area it is. And as I say, I don't have time today to go through our 150 plus part-time online programs, but I will give you a link a little bit later on. So just something immediate, just to let you know, our former presenter was talking about Springboard at UL as well, a great scheme there, funded scheme, but just something that's right in front of our face at the moment. I thought I'd better make you aware of through the government funding, July stimulus funding from last year. We've still got a few programs that are open. Some of these are 90% funded. If you're in employment, if you're a returner to work or seeking to enhance your CV, these are fully funded. So we're offering those. These themes have been mentioned already this morning: lean and quality supply chain. And obviously, when we're looking at what our own skill sets are and what our own drivers are, how we take those and develop them into organization goals. So that's just something that's available at the moment, and there's a link there. I'll give you these details at the end. And so almost there is, I'm saying to a lot of people, or a lot of people are saying to me, do you know what, 2021 is a great time to upskill. I've never seen so many supports that are available at the moment, and UL clearly, is wanting to work hand in hand with business in Laois. We've got a lot of our students, adult workers, people already in work from the county, and what I'm going to do is just very, very quickly, really quickly, just give you a quick overview here of programs that we've currently got available. As I say, I don't want to necessarily walk you through a menu, but as you can see here, if you can see all these, a lot of these now are all online, all part-time. You know, we've already heard this morning about artificial intelligence. We've already heard about data analytics. We've talked a lot about lean. Listen, I'm going to let you walk through those with your leisure. But as you can see, if you can name it, we've probably got it. And if we haven't got it, then that's something we need to be having a chat with you about. So I'm just going to come back off that one and come back here. So basically, I hope I'm off my slides now. What we really want to do is listen to what you feel those skills needs are, because we're only predicting these. You know, we're only hearing what certain employers are telling us, but we need to hear it from you as well, because we're very much about, you know, if we need to change what we deliver, we do it, we co-develop it with yourselves. And you know, renowned as we are for research, we don't always know what is facing you right at the coalface in terms of what your skills needs are. But one thing is very clear, I think we're all pretty sure about this, is that lifelong learning is here to stay. The knowledge that you take at one point in your life or in your career or for your business is not going to last you 30 years. You know, we're going to need to refresh this every few years, whether it's for you or your team. So I'm just going to finally now, I think I'm still in time, just going to reshare my screen. Can everybody see that?
Yeah, we can see you, David.
Yeah. And I'm just finally just leave my details there. And Bernie, I'm hopefully in time. It's a great exercise to talk about everything that's available at UL in 10 minutes, but I hope that's given people a flavour of things. And as I say, give me a call. I'd be delighted to have a chat about your skills needs and how that could help develop your growth plans. So I shall come out of that.
Thank you very much, David. And that was a great final speaker presentation. And I recently did one of our member interviews with David. So you can access that on the Laois Chamber YouTube channel or through on the homepage of our website for more information. And I know 10 minutes was short for a lot of the speakers, and I really appreciate how people have stayed on time and worked within our limits to get as much information out to everybody tuned in today. So moving on to, for me, probably no disrespect to our other speakers, the highlight of the event. I've been an admirer of this lady since I met her and heard her speak a number of years ago at an event. And it certainly struck me how ahead of her time she really was when it comes to pivoting, innovation and outside of the box thinking. As a proud Laois lady, she has worked very tirelessly over the years to develop the National Ploughing Championships to what it is today, and in fact the World Ploughing Championships also. This year should be the 90th year of the event, and I hope Anna May doesn't mind me mentioning that she has been involved in 66 of those, well, according to what I read online. So today you're very welcome, Anna May, to our event in Laois, and great to see you looking so well and staying safe from your home just down the road from here. So I'm going to just go through basically, let's kind of jump straight into it. And if you want to just give us a bit of background to the National Ploughing Championships and how you got involved and how it all began.
Good afternoon, Bernie, and thank you very much. Yes, I got involved more by accident than design, because the founder of the association was a Kildare man, the late J.J. Bergen, and he was very friendly with my father, and it was a national ploughing, and it was just ploughing at that time coming up, and he asked my father would I help him for a few weeks. So I went down on the Friday, about 3 miles from here. I cycled down, it's near a Thai, and I cycled down on a Friday, and I came home that evening, and I said, well, I'm not going there anymore. I met with a very elderly man who was very nice to me, but I went on a Monday, and the rest is history. I never left it. So that's how I came involved. And then in 1956, I was made secretary of the association when it became a limited company. So that was my involvement. It had very humble beginnings, really. The ploughing it was just ploughing competitions, and about 9 or 10 counties taking part then.
And would it be fair to say, Anna May, there wasn't a great gender balance at that point?
Oh, not at all. They were all men folk. Look, I would be probably the only lady or two that would be at the event. And, we had to think outside the box after that, as the years went on, and which we did.
So just like over the years, we've all seen how it's evolved and grown beyond ploughing. You've incorporated so many new pieces, and I really feel that your leadership and innovative thinking has certainly contributed to the event that it is today. Would you agree with that piece?
I would, Bernie, very much, because it was all men folk. Like, we have the county ploughing associations, and they were all represented by men folk. And it was difficult at times now. I remember very well when we introduced the fashion shows back in 1984, and that was rejected very much. But I came out of that meeting and I did say to myself, well, I'm going ahead and we'll have the fashion shows, because we had to bring in side events to interest ladies to come to the event. And that has been going very successful since. And then following on the years, then we introduced more. The livestock came in 88, and we had the Nissan Classic going through Oak Park Estate in 1989, because it was internal roadways. But we found by having side events, we encouraged other members of the family to come. We had the ploughing, of course, always there, not in the background, very much in the fore, but to bring in bigger attendances, we introduced a lot of side events like the cookery competitions, the brown bread baking competitions, the livestock. And by doing that, we were also increasing the exhibition side of it. Today, we can say that we would have over about 1,700 exhibitors, and that would incorporate all the government departments, as well as the Enterprise Ireland and many other, the shopping arcades. So we really put on a show to suit every member of the family. And that ended up then with huge attendances coming to the event, because there was the playground for the children, all the other livestock shows, the pony games, and the hunt chase, the cookery competitions, the shopping arcades, the exhibition, the motor car trade. So really, all the time we were thinking ahead, how every time that I would go to any event, I was always looking for ideas, and then to get them passed and approved by our own National Council. But the biggest thing I got for approval, the biggest setback I got, was the fashion show. Right. I was told then that with the ploughing competition we were running, so be it. But you have to go ahead outside of the box, and you have to say then, look, if this is a success, we continue with it. So that's how we have grown over the years, Bernie, and it has paid off, because, with an attendance over 3 days of nearly 293,000 people in the heart of the country, you need every facility in the site, on the site, and the infrastructure is huge, of course.
Absolutely. And what I love about the event is that it appeals to the children right up to the older generation and everything in between. And you certainly are, in my eyes, a true marketeer. You knew your market, you knew what was out there, and you knew what it would take to get those people to come and support the businesses by spending their money and buying the bits and pieces that they see in the fashion show and so on.
Yes, and Enterprise Ireland too, Bernie, they have brought in potential buyers from 18 or 19 countries every year. And, that is good for the exhibitors, because there is a possibility of their product being sold. That's why they're there. It's a shop window, really, for a lot of the machinery people and others, honestly, and all of that, yes.
So look, moving on, last year, 2020, was very challenging for everybody. Nobody thought this time last year, I'm sure in your organisation, that your September event may not happen. But I know you had to make that call. That must have been a very difficult call to make in the end. I know it was down to public health, really, at the end of the day.
Absolutely. You know, we cancelled the event in May. We had to be, you know, the National Ploughing Association would not take any risks at all. And it was very disappointing because many exhibitors had booked their space, hotels had been booked, and we had made a lot of arrangements too and preparation. And it was a huge decision, but in the interest of safety. And, you know, we just had to make that decision.
Yeah.
Now, I will have to say, the week that it should have taken place, exhibitors and others were very, very kind to us. They sent us a lot of messages. They even sent us bouquets of flowers, and it showed how much they missed the event.
Yeah.
They really did. And, you know, we had to make that decision. It was difficult to make, but look, in the interest of safety and the safety for people that would come, we just had to make it.
Absolutely. So without asking you to look into a crystal ball and predict the future for the 2021 event, which I'm sure even last September, you didn't even think that would be in question. And I know this year it was to be hosted down the road here in Rathneska, the World Ploughing Championships also. So that must be, you must be going through a lot of Zoom and team meetings with your colleagues to make hard decisions. I'm not sure if you've come to any decisions yet. I'm not asking you to divulge, but look, it's very challenging for you, I'm sure.
Well, it's very challenging, all right, for us, as it has been for other businesses too. Now, it was the 90th year we would be celebrating this year, and that's why we got to host the World Ploughing in September 15th to 18th of September. At the moment now, we are cautiously optimistic.
Great.
In fact, at the present time, we will be sending out our trade stand prospectus in the hope that we might be able to hold it. But look, we have to be guided by the government, and that we, as I said earlier, we will take no risk, but it'd be a huge, huge disappointment because to miss the hosting of the World Ploughing would be absolutely huge to us. We have made a lot of arrangements already in Rathneska with regard to land availability. Hotels have been booked all over the county and in further afield. And that decision will not, with regard to World Ploughing anyway, will not be made until May. And it'll be the World Board and ourselves and the guidelines that we have at that time. Our decision will be based on that.
Okay. And it's such a massive deal for Laois to be selected to host the event. So we really all hope, and I mean, it'll bring great business into the county, there's no doubt. And you know, the tourist destinations, the hotels, the restaurants, the shops, and everybody, you know, that would supply products, I'm sure are on tender hooks praying that will happen.
We all hope that it will happen, you know, and sure, looking for other businesses too, it would be wonderful if it can happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. But everyone understands that it's public health is number one. So Anna May, just I don't want to keep you too long on the call, but what advice would you give to businesses out there in terms of leading and innovating, particularly during these challenging times? We've all had to think differently. Even here we are, the Chamber, delivering a virtual event. Who would have thought this was even possible? But you know, what would be the main bits of advice and nuggets that got you through difficult times over the years? I'm sure there were many of them.
Oh, there were many difficulties, and there were many times you take 3 steps forward and you'd have to take 2 steps backwards. I didn't get my own way all the time. You have to be very positive. But to businesses that are listening, I would say, first of all, I would use 2 words. Don't quit.
Right.
Because we have to be positive. Look, if we survived the last 12 months, you will survive now, because the best news we ever got over the airways was that there were vaccines available. And now we hear that there's another one coming up, Johnson & Johnson. But look, there's nothing like the office chat, like people around, your own staff even, when you're sitting around having a chat, somebody can come up with an idea. And it would be it's great if your staff are afforded the opportunity of coming up with ideas, because we all have a talent, and we all have ideas, and it's great to put them forward. But I would say we have to be resilient, and you know, the teamwork is wonderful. There's plenty of goodwill out there, and I know businesses have suffered like ourselves. But look, there's an end in sight, I hope, with all the vaccines coming up. And please God, again, I would say, don't quit at this stage. We have to be positive. We have to be innovative, and teamwork. And there's great goodwill. So I would advise them to stay put and to do what they can, maybe to promote their business. Maybe they can use their website more or go shopping online or whatever.
Yeah.
But I repeat, if we have survived the last 12 months, and now with vaccines coming up every other week, please God, we'll all be back in business in another few months, hopefully.
Absolutely. And I think, Anna May, you're the epitome of resilience. And I love that message. It's simple. Don't quit. There's no rocket science to that. But I'm sure there's some people listening today and that's going to resonate with them and they're going to keep going. And hopefully they've learned some bits and pieces today about all of the supports that are out there. And I think using your team around you and collaboration always makes things easier. A problem shared is a problem halved, isn't that? Isn't that what they say?
It's an old saying, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really, we're all very hopeful that we'll be able to visit the Ploughing Championships in September and that everyone stays safe, including yourself, and best of luck. I know you're waiting patiently for your vaccination and that's coming soon, no doubt.
Yes, I hope in the next fortnight now that I'll have the first jab anyway.
Yeah.
And wishing all the businesses in the county and all over very well. I know that they must be enduring a lot of hardships, really, and everybody is in sympathy with the businesses that are suffering. But
yeah,
let's hope, and we have to be positive, really.
Absolutely, yeah. I think as a business owner in a previous life, I was a business owner, and uncertainty is a horrible place. It's a horrible feeling, uncertainty, and we just have to keep going in times of uncertainty. And I think there earlier or just before Christmas, we launched the Laois gift card, and the support that card got was massive, and people just wanted to support the local businesses. And I think there was definitely a great feeling of goodwill. We sold 120,000 euros worth of those cards in the space of 6 or 7 weeks. And that was down to the goodwill of the people in the county. So it's great to see that. There's a very strong community, and I think COVID has maybe galvanized the business community that little bit more.
Yes, and could I say, Bernie, that when the National Ploughing Championship started, the cost of the very first ploughing competition was £9, 3 and 6pence, and today we are talking about in the region of 6 million.
Wow!
And that is the growth. But I want to thank the Laois Chamber, congratulate them on giving people this opportunity of sharing their ideas, and congratulations to you as well, and thank you very much for having me on it.
Well, thanks, Anna. You were on my list to have at one of our business breakfasts in a room somewhere, and we will certainly, hopefully, revisit that in the near future. And best of luck for the rest of the year and the decisions and the challenges that may lie ahead. And stay safe in your home there in Laois.
Thank you very much, Bernie.
Thank you. So we're going to round up today's event, and I just want to say a thank you to, firstly, the board of Laois Chamber for trusting me to run a virtual event like this. It wasn't anything that was done before. I probably didn't really know what I was doing, but I put my hands in the trusted guise of Martin and James of mywebinar.ie. And thanks very much to the Heritage Hotel for this amazing live stream studio. The facilities are just a world class, and it's made it all happen today. I'd also like to thank the panelists for their patience and the preparation. I know they were engaging a lot with all of us working towards the event, and getting their presentations, doing trial Zoom and logging on today and staying within time. It really made the event work really well, and was less stressful for me also. And without saying, it was great to see Anna May McHugh looking so well and staying safe, and hopefully she'll get back to some sort of normality like the rest of us. A big thank you to our sponsors, Gas Networks Ireland, the LOETB, TSSG and the Local Enterprise Office. If you'd like to pop into our virtual rooms and you've any further questions to ask, we put the link up in the chat, or you can email me and I'll send you the link straight away. So all I can say is stay safe and hoping to see you all soon. For anyone that wants to find out any more about the Chamber, please give me a call, log on to our website, sign up for a newsletter and visit our YouTube channel and like us across all our social media channels. Thank you and stay safe.